Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna be installing arguably one of the best dash cams on the market. Product in question is Viofo A329S. This is gonna be our main front camera. The most important thing to mention is that this is a 3-channel setup and all 3 cameras use Sony Starvis 2 sensors. Now this is gonna be our back camera, and this is the interior camera with a fisheye lens. Viofo also provided some extra 3M double-sided tape and the sticker for the car, and of course we got all of the necessary accessories to make this installation as easy as possible. To power up the camera you can use this USB adapter for the lighter. However, for power I'm gonna use something else today. This is HK6 Hardwire cable, which provides constant dashcam recording when the car is parked. This little black box essentially monitors the battery voltage and it prevents the dashcam from draining the battery. Another very cool thing that we got in the package is going to be this polarizing lens, which prevents the glare from the dash. Lastly, we got this Bluetooth button which we can use to log the footage in the event of the crash, and we got the 64GB micro SD card. Now it's time to connect that cable which provides the power for constant dashcam recording. Alright, so the fuses on this side give us the constant power. You can see we got nothing right here. Now if I turn the ignition on, you can see that we get the power here. Now this black wire, that's gonna be our ground, and I'm just gonna put it right here under this bolt. Now the red wire is gonna be the wire for our constant power, and the yellow wire is gonna be our ignition on power. So essentially, as you can see, I basically just connected the piggyback fuse to this red wire. I'm gonna unplug one of these fuses, plug it in here, and plug this thing into the slot, and I'm gonna do the same thing on this other side. So I'm gonna plug this one here. Now I'm just gonna put this plug on the other side, and I'm gonna secure this box right here. If you don't need the constant parking monitoring, you can just plug the power cable into the USB socket or into the lighter socket with the adapter that has been provided. I'm gonna guide the wire for the back camera. So as you can see, I've pulled the headliner down. It's held in place right here on the back with these 2 plastic rivets. Alright, so I'm just gonna push this metal rod through. Alright, now I'm gonna pull the wire out, and there it is. So as I said, I'm just gonna guide it through these holes. So next we gotta guide the rest of this cable to the front of the car. Now you can push some kind of wire or something above the headliner, tie it to this piece of wire and just pull it through. Alright, I'm just gonna stick the back camera right here, and I'm gonna plug in the cable. The camera, as you can see, is on, and I'm doing that because I want to make sure that the positioning is perfect. So I'm just gonna stick it onto the windshield like this. I think that's gonna be good. And we got another cable from the back camera. I'm just gonna plug that right here. Alright, so we are gonna install this interior camera right here. I'm gonna plug the cable in just so I know how much room I need. Alright, there it is. Alright, now here is how everything looks. You can see that there are no cables anywhere besides these right here, so everything is organized neatly. Now you can see that we got 5 main buttons here. In the event of the crash, you use this button right here to log the footage so it can't be overwritten. You can take a photo by hitting this button. If you want to access the menu, all you gotta do is hold this button for 3 seconds. Like that. However, we're gonna go over the menu from their app. If you want to change the image, all you gotta do is hit this Wi-Fi button. Now to turn on the Wi-Fi, just hold it for a couple of seconds. You can either disable or enable the mic by hitting this button, and
recording 3 channels started.
And this is how you can start or stop the recording. As you can see, if I hit this button,
Video protected.
it essentially locks this video so it can be overwritten. Alright, so the camera is up and running, and first thing I want to show you is the polarizing lens that I mentioned in the beginning of the video. I just want to show you how much of a difference it makes when it comes to the glare from the dash. You can see as I spin it, it pretty much completely eliminates the glare, so you can just find the perfect position by spinning it, and you can just secure it onto the lens. So this is gonna be good. Alright, first let's do the sound test, and as you can hear, the sound is pretty good quality, and I gotta admit I am pretty impressed. First, I'm gonna go over my impressions. I've been living with this 3-channel dashcam setup for about 10 days, and I gotta admit that I am pretty amazed by the system quality. You can see that the picture is bright, vibrant, and sharp, and as I mentioned before, this front camera records in the 4K, while the other 2 cameras record in 2K. The Sony Starvis 2 sensors are used on all 3 cameras, and that makes a pretty big difference when I compare it to some of the other dashcams that I used before. Besides, it's also worth mentioning that HDR is available on all 3 channels. I also gotta mention that I can pretty easily read all of the number plates. Now let's check out our back camera, and even though it records in a lower resolution of 2K, you can see that the picture is nice and crisp, and you can see pretty much all of the details. Again, the most important thing here is that you can read out all of the number plates, and you can see that everything is nice and visible, and you can easily read them out. Moving on to the interior camera with the fisheye lens, you can see my beautiful wife behind the wheel. You can see all of the details, and the impressive thing here is that you can see pretty much 180 degrees. This can again come in very useful in the event of the crash. You can see some of the critical details from both sides. Now let's check out some night footage. As I mentioned several times before, the front camera films in 4K and the HDR is on. You can see that the image is nice and crisp, and we can see pretty much all of the details. Most importantly, again, we can read out the number plates. I gotta say, compared to some of the other dashcams that I used before, this is significantly better, and I gotta admit that I am pretty impressed with this night footage. Now, when it comes to the back camera and night conditions, the back camera, which films in 2K, does struggle a little bit. You can see that the footage is a bit grainy. However, in case something happens, it's still gonna give you enough detail, and it's gonna provide decent enough footage for you to have as an evidence. When it comes to interior camera, it offers infrared light, so you get pretty good footage of the interior. There's one more very important thing that I have to mention, and that's gonna be the bottom bar. You can see that it displays your speed, direction. It also gives you the battery voltage. Besides that, it gives you the resolution, the status of the HDR, and date and time. Alright, now it's time to show you the app. You can see I've connected to the Viofo camera. I'm gonna hit done. I've downloaded the app from the Play Store. I'm gonna hit connect camera, and this is gonna be the main screen. Now this is gonna be the back camera, and by switch camera button you can basically change your view. You can also use this snapshot icon to take a picture. So everything is nice and well organized here. Now by hitting this button on the left, this is where you're gonna get all of your footage, as you can see right there. So you got a few options here. You can select from the locked one, parking, footage, image, and at all the way at the top you can select by the camera, front, interior, or rear. So if you wanna download a certain footage, so you will just open it and hit the download button on the top right corner. I'm gonna hit settings. Now the first option is gonna be video resolution. You can see we got a bunch of options here. However, if you are using all three channels, you won't be able to film in 4K 60 frames per second. Then we got the loop recording. You can select from 1 to 10 minutes. I'm gonna leave it at 1. We also got the option to turn on and off the audio recording. We can set up the exposure, turn the HDR on and off for each individual camera, and we can even schedule it. Now the G sensor sensitivity, that's basically when you are in the crash, and you can select it from low to high, but anyway it's gonna detect the crash itself and is gonna lock the footage automatically. And then we got the date stamp, time-lapse recording, interior cam fisheye mode. Then we got the Wi-Fi channel, Bluetooth button function. I didn't set that up. I don't really think it's necessary, since you can easily reach that button to lock the recording. We can set up the time zone, time format, daylight saving, time synchronization, date format, boot delay. Also we got the option for interior camera, and this is what I showed you a bit earlier. This is infrared LED, so you can basically turn the infrared light on or off, or you can even set it to auto. We got the LED status for recording. For the parking, we can manage the SSD storage. Then we got the video storage. Important thing to mention is that this setup supports up to 4 terabytes SSD disk. We got the vehicle battery protection. I talked about that earlier. I've essentially selected the lowest voltage on that black device itself. Now moving on to the parking mode. First we're gonna check out the auto event detection. Now essentially this is a great feature where the dashcam uses the lowest possible power. It automatically detects some kind of commotion around the car, and it records it, as you can see right here. You also got the low bitrate recording. This is just so the files are not as big and you're gonna lose a bit of the video quality. And this right here is gonna be the time-lapse recording. It essentially captures the 1 frame per second, and it gives you the video in the time lapse. I gotta admit that this is kinda neat feature. Besides, we got the parking mode timer, parking G sensor, parking motion detection, parking GPS HDR, file storage, then we got the image rotation, and here's the multiplex video. Essentially you can turn it on and off, and you can select front and interior camera, front and rear, or all 3 cameras. And here is the footage here. The smart thing about this option is that you combine all of 3 videos into one, and you get the smaller file size. So it is really useful, but you don't really lose much when it comes to detail. Moving on, we got the notification sounds, voice notification, voice control. So what you can do with this, you can say to the camera take picture, and it will do that. Then we got the speed unit, GPS info stamp, camera model stamp, logo stamp, resolution stamp, screensaver. So the screensaver essentially turns off the screen on the camera after 3 minutes, as I've set it up here. We got the frequency, language, voice, notification, volume, format. You can format the micro SD card from here. You can set up the Wi-Fi name and password, and so on. So we got a couple of other option as the car license number, and we can reset the camera settings. So that is going to be pretty much it. Now, to conclude this video, I truly think that the Viofo A329S is one of the best, if not the best, 3-channel dashcam setup on the market, and if your budget allows you, I would definitely recommend it. The main reason behind that is that you get 24/7 protection, and if you have to park your car on the street, setup like this is definitely a must. Besides that, the video quality is outstanding, but most importantly, this is the most reliable setup that I ever used. Every dashcam that I used in the past had a problem with the reliability, but not this one. Anyway, that would be all for this video. I hope you find it useful. If you did, hit that like button and support our channel by subscribing.